Transmissions.
And hello, everybody. Today on the episode, we have Jeremy from formerly of Taxi Cab Dismemberment, currently of Where They Hide, and Doug of M&R and These Three Words. And then, of course, they're both in Unrest in Transit with Justin and myself, and Matt, late
great Matt. Nice.
Late and great
guy.
Matt
Good.
Fogg.
Dude, rest in peace. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Awfulness. But
So today we're just kind of discussing music and a little bit about Matt, and then a whole lot of fucking nothing for the next hour and a half. And I want to thank you guys both for coming on and taking time out of your day to revisit fucking getting drunk and being idiots on stage.
All
In
right.
Unrest in Transit. Specifically in Unrest in Transit. we'll go ahead and fucking divert that. So, we were just discussing a whole lot of nothing specifically, but we were literally just discussing what were we just discussing, Justin? Tigo, Montoya, M&M's.
damn, I can't remember. There was a lot. Oh, M&M's.
The
Oh, like in the urethra?
That's what. That's exactly right. That's what we were discussing. M&M's in the urethra.
I think that was the last.
Yeah, when it's softened, you can't get it out.
You
That's tough.
You make
It melts in your
It's a
mouth.
hell of a way to begin an
Not your
episode. That's right. And
I had to really think about that though.
yeah, what were we talking about? And it was literally M&M's lodged in your urethra and how painful that would be. But the fact that it melts in your mouth, but.
Not.
your dick.
There we go. It was pop in from Doug.
I'm still waiting
So
for
there's that.
scientific evidence on this because
We don't actually know. Actually,
Right.
I mean, body temperature suggests probably otherwise, according to the marketing tactics
Yeah,
of
the melting point
fucking
of chocolate
Mars.
over the body temperature of your penis.
or mouth in comparison to your mouth, or like just does only the outside melt and not the shell itself?
Yeah.
Because think about how hot your mouth is.
Unless
and
you're really masochistic and want to pinch the tip and break it off,
Well, then you
Right in
also
there.
have the filled M&Ms. So, like,
That's good.
your peanut butter filled M&Ms, would the peanut butter, melt down and kind of turn into a napalm of nastiness
Well,
inside of your
they got
dick?
caramel. They got
Christ.
caramel, and they have mint now too, I believe. So I mean,
Oh, the mint
Shit.
ones would
now
burn.
now you got that. Now you got the menthol feel. That
Oh,
means it's working,
yeah.
in my opinion. Haven't
we are
tried
going to
it, but
spend an hour and a half talking about
Yes,
M&Ms
we
in
are.
the dick. And you people are going to eat it up.
yeah. So hopefully from across the globe.
have some. Oh,
This is an excellent
Eating
way
up
to start.
M&M
if
dicks.
someone has
Yeah.
an answer, at least provide it or science.
Yep. In the comments below, but we don't have YouTube, so just write it into fucking your notes in your phone and never send it anywhere to anyone.
Now, you all can imagine just how productive our band practices were.
Yeah, there we go. Took us a little bit to write 2 songs after the fact, right? I mean, we did drag a little bit.
Slightly.
I guess you can call us dragons. Oh.
No, you can't.
Oh.
It's against the law to be dad jokes. Actually,
I live off that.
we're, yeah, I know. Well, we're all fucking dads, so we all are just as lame as can be, right? Because that's what goes when you're dads. You just gotta make bad dad jokes. Unless you're Doug, you're too fucking cool.
Right.
No, I came right at him because he doesn't make fucking bad dad jokes. Everything he says is fucking usually pretty fucking aggressive and fucking on point and solid fucking lash out comedy that nobody would really come out with.
Hey,
I think he's got
not
the
my
good
fault
shit.
you have feelings.
That's what I was going for. And that's
Boy.
exactly your dick.
With an M&M jammed in it, I guess. And it's melting.
Possibly mint or peanut butter in the middle. You never know. Till you know.
Oh, well, you don't know till you feel the burn.
It comes
Well,
full
the best
circle.
part about the peanut ones is they just still
sit
stay
there.
solid.
Yeah.
Just
What if you got a nut allergy? Then all of a sudden you got anaphylaxis in your
shit.
dick.
yeah.
My.
All downhill. This is just turning into a negative.
But again, this goes back to like the science aspect. Like, if you have an EpiPen, did you stab yourself in the dick, or does it matter anywhere?
Oh, sweet fuck.
I think you need to put the EpiPen into the thigh. And then it, split. It goes through
Try to
the
figure its way
bloodstream.
out.
I don't know. I'm not an EpiPen.
Although,
peanut butter in the dick doctor.
If you do the EpiPen and then you get a hard on, will it
I
go
can't handle
quicker
this. This is
to
You should just
the
fucking jab
inflicted
yourself
area?
EpiPen right in the nipple to see what happens.
And this is
like only the nipple though.
just to
Only
come
one.
back to this.
But
though,
this way, just not
Sideways.
like just, it would increase
So
the
horizontally, not straightforward.
straightforward. But
Well, horizontally, it's going to end up popping out the other side, and then all the EpiPen juice is just going to...
But for some reason, it fucking works.
and there goes to your fucking epi.
Even though it sprays on the side of your shirt or whatever, or whatever,
Dude, could you imagine walking
over
into
your
that
shoulder,
scenario?
hit somebody else.
You just walk into a house, you got a guy with like a peanut allergy with a peanut butter M&M in his dick, and then an EpiPen halfway through his nipple, and just convulsing. And
Yep.
How the fuck did this land on my lap? Why the fuck do I have to
I
deal with
wouldn't want
this?
to be that paramedic.
Oh, that's a good way to start the episode. I really, I'm really glad about all that, But
You started it.
oh, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. Oh no. Oh, this started before the episode started.
That is true.
You asked me the questions about M&M's.
Hey, well, and
Well, there we go.
and I'm glad because it's substantive and demonstrable. Just kidding. Let's go find a victim.
Words
I mean a
and
test
words.
subject.
And...
Words.
Word.
Well, I guess it came back to that me just saying that your jokes are never really lame because you make dickhead jokes all the time. You're an asshole.
Those words you say, I don't think they quite mean
What you think they mean? Yeah. Montoya. That's where he gets his little nickname there. It's not his fault. We just started calling him Tigo Montoya. Justin. Just happened.
Tigger.
Tigger,
Well, I think the important thing to take from this is don't stick fucking M&Ms in your urethra.
Or probably anything.
Don't do any of anything like that.
Well, no, sometimes you need to put things in your urethra if you're a medical, professional.
If you need a catheter, or
right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Or
an STD test.
Right. I was just
ooh,
gonna say
that was a brutal one.
I don't
right?
know if they stick the Q-tip in your dick hole anymore.
They don't do that one anymore.
No.
So
just use the pinky if you're feeling froggy. I mean, what do you got? I mean,
it's a good direction. It's good.
well, it
it's
is
a good
because you got
step
to
in the-
inspect things. Take your pinky, just jam it down, probably, I don't know, a third,
Yeah.
and then if you come, whatever.
How fucking small is your pinky?
If you come, what?
But you're just trying to check things out. You got to make sure everything is running
You're exploring,
correctly.
dude.
Well, of course, this is suggestive. I mean, but
Let's get that on social media. Let's take a picture of us all talking about whether or not it's climactic or not.
this is all for science.
It's just
It is all for science. We are scientists
you gotta
here.
figure it out.
Brainstorming, trial and error.
Yep, gotta do it.
And I wonder if dolphins think that shit out. I mean, really, they may be just as evolved mentally as us, but don't have the television sets.
Maybe that's why we evolved into dolphins. Just so much.
I'm pretty sure they're evolved to the
Pinky,
point where they don't give a shit
fist.
what goes inside your pee hole.
I think they're keeping up. Dolphin Rape Island? I mean, come on.
I know. It's fucked. It's fucking
Dolphin
horrible.
Rape Island.
Yeah, this is new to me.
Oh, he doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
okay.
guys
I don't know
haven't
about
heard
it.
of Dolphin Rape Island?
No.
I know of it because of
Oh.
you, Doug. So fill it in.
Motherfuckers need to get on Google.
Been on
I
plenty.
mean, it's
haven't-
literally the
I'm
world's
looking at the
out
wrong
there.
places.
Apparently.
Oh my fucking god. Okay, so
Hey.
you,
Dolphin Rape
you can
Island.
explain it to him, or
Oh yeah, dolphins, they got the prehensile penis. They can grab shit with their dick.
Really?
Oh yeah.
That's
they're
impressive.
assholes. They're fucking assholes, dude.
Well, I mean, they probably are, but with a dick that can do that,
Yeah.
who wouldn't be?
It's like an elephant drunk
Did they
dick.
grab snacks on the way? Just like.
If you call little, infant seals that they rape snacks, then yes.
Well, okay, so what if we did, like,
So bad.
would it be possible to organize some kind of, like, Olympics where they grab something with their dick and go out of the ocean and toss it to another one? You know what I mean? Like how flying fish, they just launch themselves out of the water. Did you see these dolphins fly out and just throw things?
Like
They're-
Dick Lacrosse?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're just tossing it. It's like rape to rape to rape until it's dead.
So you can get people out there holding up
They
like...
just toss a baby
targets.
otter with their fucking dicks.
well,
I don't know.
But how
You
much
tell
weight could
us,
it lift?
Dolphin
Stick
Rape
tossing.
Island specialist. Fucking fill us in.
How much weight could it lift, you wonder?
We expected you to know this shit, man. What the fuck?
Not me. I don't know what dolphin
No,
rape
no,
island
him,
is.
him.
Oh, Doug.
Me.
Yeah. Doug's the dolphin
Ju-
rape.
I mean,
Just
for all
'cause
of
I
you
know
couldn't see,
of
I
the
pointed
place-
at him just now.
That
I filled it I solidified
that
it.
transfers through podcasts so well. Let me point at you, and then I'll point at you, and then I'll point at you. Oh yeah, no one can fucking see it.
That's true.
Holy
He doesn't know which
cow.
you was you either. Which one of us was the you? He was.
You know, we are
specifying.
totally getting off the topic of M&M's in the dick and of Dolphin Rape
We'll
Island.
come right back
Yeah.
around. I think.
Maybe.
Yeah. We'll
It
go.
is abstract transmissions. We don't usually come back to stuff. We fucking
we
forget. He's like, we fucking
I'll
will.
make a mental note of it.
He's got a little checklist going. He's like, don't worry, I keep on task
How
and we'll be
can
back.
you not go back to Dolphin Rape Island? Once you've been there,
I don't know,
It's so picturesque
Yeah, I was
and
gonna-
serene,
I was gonna say, it sounds wonderful.
and the dead sea otter babies. It's
Just
just
floating.
yeah.
This is a graphic episode. Lots of dead baby otters with blood and semen. Just
Lots of,
No one said anything about blood or semen. You're
Yeah.
filling in the blanks now.
obviously.
see, well, that's,
I mean that it's just it's a massacre. They're floating every.
All of a sudden, Mark's turning it into his own little fantasy. Oh, blood and semen everywhere. Ooh. What a delightful little picture.
Some people get their toes sucked. I don't know. Everybody's got their kink.
And over here is a happy little dead sea otter
Jesus fucking
covered in semen,
Jesus.
bleeding from its
My
ass.
goodness.
We went
All
from
right.
science
You know,
to
I was
fancies
kidding.
now.
I tried to be disgusting for a little bit, but now I'm just uncomfortable.
oh,
Poor
boy.
those
Oh,
poor
y-
those poor.
You tried to play Be Grosser Than Doug. Oh,
it didn't
I'm
work out.
sorry.
Everybody loses
so
that game.
Yeah.
You and your little dead raped sea baby otter, covered in semen and blood. Oh, so
The o-
sad.
The only one winning here is
Doug.
Me.
Doug. Doug, literally Doug. I was gonna say the baby seals, but they're not winning. I mean, they're escaping pretty quickly, so maybe they are escaping.
See, this is why no bands ever gave me a microphone.
I think we did a few times.
Yeah.
No, I don't think
no,
you guys did.
You did yell into a microphone when we recorded. What song was it? There's one where we recorded a song and you have a vocal track on it. It's only like 2 words, 3 words. I remember this
Is that
very
with
very.
Aaron Hill?
Yeah, when
Yeah.
we recorded at Aaron Studios, you did a vocal track. I forget which song. What song was that?
I did a 12-pack of double bag as well.
Oh,
So
It's just a
Oh,
normal
those-
day.
Jesus, I know. I
Those
remember
double
those.
bags?
Those.
What
Oh
the
yeah.
hell?
I
Fucking
ripped a
8.
12-pack of double bag, then I was
I helped
into the
you, though. I
12-pack of
helped a little
Boston
bit.
Lager,
Ooh.
and then I got pulled over on the way home.
Yeah,
Yeah, me and Matt.
I remember that. It was fucking wild.
Aren't those like the 12.9%?
No, they're
ones
the
or
8
whatever?
point. They're 8. They're 8 something. But
7.8.
yeah,
Still,
they're
that's
up there.
Pretty,
They're fucking
pretty
brutal.
fucking high. That's pretty.
We were both drinking a good amount that day.
That'll get you. That'll get you.
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't have fucking been so supportive in the amount that we drank that day, because
I felt
we
like
were
I had
recording.
this shit real bad,
and I was all
didn't
about it,
until I got
and we
home.
drank that whole day.
I don't think I really looked for too much support. I think I ran out of the double bag and
And just bought more of
went
it.
to the store while one
Yeah,
of
but
you
I
guys
bought more of
recorded
it,
your
too.
tracks.
true.
And then I got back and recorded all my bass lines. And I think I was blackout drunk when I recorded all those. So,
Damn.
yeah.
They came out thumpy though.
Yeah. It's nice.
That was the sound, though. I mean, we had a real drunken quality to our music,
Yeah.
except for you.
Except for me, yeah, because I can't
It
drink
was
and
like-
play.
you were the only one that was like pretty consistent.
We can't all be blackout fighter pilots.
It was it's funny. You couldn't have a more inconsistency between all of us, right? We were all very different in our own ways, but I would say for the most part, I mean, other than you specifically, I'm not speaking for the rest of us, but we were all pretty
Yeah,
kind of our own little train wrecks. I mean, Matt,
yeah.
Matt had his own. Well, Matt can't speak for himself, but we drank a lot in Endless Nameless and a lot in Unrest and Transit. That's all I remember. He motherfucker introduced me to the beer stick. God rest his soul. That was a good time.
Jesus. Yeah, that was.
Yep.
Unrest and Transit was at least a 12-pack practice usually.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Absolutely. Yep.
Especially if I brought the BB gun. Because Matt would always have those PBR tall boys. And one day I was just like, time to shotgun a beer, Matt. Fucking pegged one of his PBRs with the...
Well, he was holding it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. He was so fucking pissed.
Oh, he was rip shit.
Yeah.
For like 5 seconds till he drank more.
Until he finished it off.
Was that the night that he fell in through the door, or I fell into the? I don't remember which one was it. One of us fell in through the door, and
it was a combination of
both of us being fucking idiots.
You two, too much alcohol. No.
I took your screen door out at least 3 times. I know of.
You're not the only one, though. A lot of people's gone through that thing. But yeah, it was a writing practice, and Matt was wanting to show us some new riffs he was working on, and that's when he was like, "I don't feel like it. Let's drink instead."
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lots of productivity.
Hanging out though. That's good.
And then all it took was for Matt does what Matt does best and rile up Mark, and then
Yep, that's right.
with enough alcohol, both of them, he's like, "Well, fuck
Oh,
you."
dude,
And
yeah.
what are you gonna do about it? Next thing,
Oh, no.
Matt's pushing Mark, and Mark's trying to grab
wrestling.
something, and Matt's trying to help Mark stay standing, and Matt trips
Right
and
through
falls onto my fucking screen door, and
Oh no.
Right to the fucking door.
And I'm standing off to the side laughing my ass off.
And then, and then Mark goes try to help Matt. Matt says, "Fuck you, I need help." He shoves Mark into the corner and dislocates his shoulder.
Oh my!
I had to pop his shoulder
I-
back into place that night.
I definitely wasn't there. Holy fuck! I
That was
had no
wild.
idea
Oh,
about
I
that.
think you were there.
No, he was
not.
gone. He was gone. It was
It was
just
a writing
us.
night.
I would have fucking
The-
remembered that.
Mhm.
I'd be
I
like,
remember.
I'd be all fucking. Oh my god! Is everybody alright?
I'm like,
It was
I-
my house. I was the one staying there.
It's
like,
a blur.
What the fuck?
I only remember part of it, but I remember having that, like, it started to go numb and tingly and all that, and I remember laughing a lot.
Yep. That was
I was like kind of cry laughing about it.
See.
Like I like, what the? Oh, dude, that was that was a lot of alcohol. I don't remember it entirely, but I remember most of it. And it's funny because now I think about there's so many times where in my head I'm like, no, I've never really blacked out. But then there's times like that where it's like I only have partial memories. So yeah, in reality, I did lose a large chunk of that period of time.
I didn't black out more than 3 times a week. No, I definitely blacked out more than 3 times a week. Shit.
Probably if you can't remember.
Well, I don't remember blacking out, so that doesn't necessarily
count.
mean I ever did.
Kind of goes with the.
You're going for the fucking gusto
binary.
win.
Goes with
Hey,
both.
you know, those fucking double bags. They taste.
Those things are
Delicious.
fucking
They were
ridiculous.
insane. Yeah, those were insane.
Tasty, but
Oh yeah, absolutely fucking.
Oh,
was
I
drinking
moved
wine
on
at
to
the time.
Lagunitas Little Something Somethings,
Oh yeah,
9.9.
those are something.
Only sold in 6-packs.
Yep.
Were those the ones with the yellow labels with like some was it a fisherman or something on it? I remember you brought over a 6-pack one time and you're like, "Look at these things," and they were close to the 9.
That's exactly what they were. Mm-hmm.
Possibly.
I don't
No, I remember
Something along
because
those lines.
you got them a few times.
Little something that was like
Like
the
a little-
pin-up chick on the bottle.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking.
Because I got them because you got them. I
Well, yeah.
I found out about a lot of beer through you.
Well, yeah.
Thanks, Doug.
Yeah.
You can't be a hardcore alcoholic unless you find something with a hardcore percentage.
That's right. And well, that was the thing I was always going for, and I still now, if I go to buy beer, I'm looking for something 6.5 and above it. Usually it's a hoppier, richer tasting beer, and if I'm gonna drink the beer, I'm gonna make it fucking count. And for me, I like the thick, malty tasting beers. If I'm gonna drink one or
You're
two of
just
those,
looking at me.
well, it reminds me of the fucking grapefruit fucking IPA I just had recently that I really liked a lot. It was like 6.2, and it had like a lot
Is
of
that what,
grapefruit juice and
Amanda
stuff.
had?
I don't know.
very specific on my
I
part.
know. All I know is I like the
Just
taste of
remember,
it, and that's the problem with any of those things. It's like when I was a kid, it's like soda. I fucking love the taste of it because it's loaded full of sugar, and it's terrible for me specifically. My body does not do well with high like sugar concentrated carbs in general. But now it makes even more sense that, like, after talking to my doctor, that I have a hard time digesting a lot of stuff, that beer and alcohol would be also a problem for me long term, you know. Being able to drink and get drunk and all that stuff.
Does that affect you because it throws off the pH balance of your vagina?
Yep. That's one of them. That's one of them. I got to keep that in concentration. I've got to be able to have enough yeast to make bread on a daily basis. You can use vagina yeast for bread making, actually.
You can also use it to culture yogurt.
That makes sense.
Can you pH test a vagina though?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Like with strips?
Yep.
Yeah.
Just use litmus tests, and they actually do that. I think too. There's like RH tests. I'm speaking bullshit at this point.
If
I don't
you have
genuinely know for sure.
If you have a delicate palate,
are we seriously
you
talking
can
about the
taste base or
This is
acid.
so fucking offensive.
It's for science.
We're gonna offend somebody.
I'm
It's like
curious.
Somebody's gonna get triggered somewhere.
base.
What about
I'm gonna say you're at
pH?
like a 6.
Yeah. You write it down in your notebook.
We're gonna need to put some more acid in there.
Quantify that, motherfucker.
I don't know. I don't know if it was like a strip or something like an EpiPen, like we were talking about before. You just kind of
What about the
there.
ass?
Oh, if
know,
there's a specific
The
test.
pH in the ass.
Maybe like a
you know?
Q-tip.
I've
No,
noticed
I
them to be
think
very acidic.
I think what Jeremy's
You can
getting
make
at
ass
is
yogurt.
there like a tampon design style testing pH kit that just kind of plunges in there and pops out, and then it runs back, and they look at it and they go, "Oh, look!" And if it's not, you should go ahead and take that and fucking make money off of that shit, dude.
Is it like a pregnancy test and it just pops up a number for you?
Yeah,
Oh, there we go.
On the rate of 1 to 9.
use a dirty bitch. But no, I think that's actually a really good idea. You take that on a fucking Shark Tank and look at Laurie Grenier's face. Go, what the fuck? Like, sell that shit on QVC, biatch. No, I'm just kidding, Laurie Grenier. I love you. And
You know,
also
Mark Cuban would be all about it.
would he though?
Scrunch up.
Mark, let us know in the comments.
He's got plenty of cheerleaders to test.
Meanwhile,
for his
he's
sports
fucking.
teams.
Oh no, you didn't. Doug Anderson going right for Mark Cuban on the air. That'd be funny if there's a Twitter attack and then all of a sudden Doug's like, I don't want to fucking
Easy
Twitter.
Shark Tank.
Easy Shark Taint. Oh my
Shark
fucking
Taint.
god, Doug! Right out of the gate, he's picking Twitter fights. I'm just kidding. It's not really.
Shark
Well,
Tank.
even if you are, I know you don't give a shit. But the point that I'm saying is this is the best thing ever.
If Mr. Wonderful can't handle it, it's not my fucking problem.
Oh, dude, fuck that dude. And if you're listening, I don't give a shit. You're an asshole.
I don't know who you're talking about, so.
It's a TV show.
Neither.
It's a reality TV show I only know about because I saw it on Hulu. And
My ex-wife used to watch it,
yeah.
and I'm trying to block those memories out too. But
Dude, I'm actually,
there's only so many you can block.
I'm having a hard time with it because Kayla and I watched that show a couple of times, and actually a bunch of times. I'm lying, like a ton of times. We used to watch that show because I used to get super stoned and watch that fucking show. And oh man, it just brings up a lot of fucking memories, you know. I hate reality TV too, so the fact that she even got me to watch a reality TV show, and it's that, of all those fucking things, that show's fucking ridiculously stupid. But I love it because it's fucking terrible. Fucking all reality TV shows are fucking just like, it's so over the top and fucking absurd. Like Mr. Wonderful is like, oh, I fucking hate that guy. He's a douchebag, but he's just a fucking character. That's not him in real life. I'm sure most of those people aren't actually the way they are in real life. Maybe slightly, but
An entire TV show of the made in, like, as seen on TV products for the Walmart aisles. An entire show of that.
that's, well, not always. So sometimes there's some pretty good things on there, like the fucking electrical motorcycles and shit that could genuinely impact people. But it's like, really, you're gonna impact society on a fucking ABC TV show? You could fucking just make this a good fucking product and people will buy it. You don't need fucking, you know, Robert Herjavec to fucking, you know, reinforce your security firm. You could probably do it on your own. And if you do, it's probably worth fucking, you know, either nothing and you need that reinforcement, or it's worth something and you need fucking, you know, them to handle it because you don't know shit about marketing. Which, hey, I'm on board with that. But we went on another tangent about shit that don't matter. The thing that I wanted to... I know what you're thinking, but not yet.
I'm just looking...
No, you're looking for the ghost in the machine. He's not here yet. For those of you out there that don't know what we're talking about, you never will. Back to...
Okay. All right.
He's looking for the ghost in the machine. If we had it on tape, it'd make a lot more sense. You guys would all see it, but it's there.
But you can't, so now you hear.
Steady breathing. Oh my god, this is the best thing ever. I genuinely hope you all go ahead and start the trend hashtag Ghost in the Machine, and you'll figure it all out. Everything will come together soon enough. Don't worry.
Hashtag breathe out your nostrils.
Perfect.
Just perfect timing. Perfect fucking timing. Just in time for...
Is this what you use to call out the ghost?
This is what we do. That's it.
That's how you get the
Come on,
ghost out.
come on, Ghost in the Machine. Come out, Chippy. Come out, please.
Incantations, you know, just,
Gonna go bring us to the bus.
It's exactly what. So the entire concept of reality TV is no different than our normal political discussions, right? I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. I think Yang made a pretty valid point on the most recent debate about fucking everything being a big reality TV show. They're all putting makeup, planned attacks at each other. It's like, yeah, that fucking, it makes sense coming from somebody who's not a politician. That it's like, well, that's what we've all been used to for so long, that's just what everybody's come to accept. And no wonder we have a reality TV show host as a president now, and that's what we've come back to. And that's why I said it doesn't matter who it is, whether you support him or not, the next president's going to be whoever has the most fire memes on the internet. That's it. We've devolved into society where it's just fucking memes and fucking clickbait, and that's what we're fucking interested in. Whoever gets the most clickbait and memes is gonna fucking generate enough, as long as they have enough time, it'll be like Sanders was, and they'll just generate a bunch of interest, and a lot of people will be excited about it, and it'll just be 2-minute videos being passed around the goddamn internet. And unless the Russians do whatever the hell they're doing, but who knows?
well, why rush? Take your time.
Why? What do you think about it? You guys think that they're generally fucking with our elections or what? They're trying to fucking divide us. I mean, that's pretty much understood. That everybody just understands that they don't. They're not our best interests are not their concern. Whether they're fucking, I don't know. I don't know about fucking Trump colluding any of that. I really don't think he's fucking smart enough for all that, to be honest with you. I just think he's fucking not planning chess moves. He's playing chess like checkers, and he's just like, whoa, I didn't plan any of this, didn't really want to be here, and I'm just fucking going with it at this point. Right. And I don't blame him that much. I don't think he's as much of an evil dickhead as everybody makes him out to be. I just think he's kind of foolish in a lot of ways.
Right.
Dipshit.
And what it came down to,
also
I've spent time and thought about it, and I've always had that moment of, you see a Facebook post, and do I really want to get in a political argument and go back and forth on comments with this one individual, maybe not see them at dinner time come Christmas, but and then you think, is it really worth it? Because you can spend hours searching on the internet, but the fact of the matter is, the only people who really know are the people that aren't going to let everybody else know. So is it really worth it in the end?
It's not.
Agreed.
Right. The people who do know are the people that are keeping it from everybody else.
Right.
Yeah, I see your point.
No one told me we'd be talking about soccer.
I would have
I
worn my
am
long
totally
socks.
unprepared for this.
Excuse me, it's football.
I know nothing about football or baseball either. This is just a moot point for me. I'm just gonna cross my arms and stare off.
Stare off to a distance.
That's. I think that it's really turned into a lot of like, you gotta be careful what you say, because those uncomfortable conversations at fucking holiday gatherings, they turned into like, you say something and people take it the wrong way. And I think a lot of us are more on the same page than we are against each other. And this whole concept of political division is something that's just really kind of spiked down the middle. But the people that you were just saying, people who don't really want us to know, their best interest to keep us against each other.
Right.
Whoever the unabridged they.
But even with that, lately have been developing almost an idea of just fuck it. Like, why walk on eggshells when then you always have to, you know what I mean? Like, well, just come out and say it and see what happens.
Yep.
You're right.
Agreed, man.
Like Rogan's perspective of post and drop. You just post it, you fucking put it up. Fuck what people think. You don't even have to respond to it.
Yep.
Just say whatever you want, fucking, in the end, and fucking ultimately it's just gonna be what it is, and you kind of have to accept it.
So you think about what people say before you say stuff?
No. I'm saying that once you post something, don't be worried about what the repercussions of what you're saying is. Just post it and fucking fuck what the other people think at the end of it.
Choke them if they can't take a fuck.
And that's what...
I mean, fuck them if they can't take a joke.
So, quick!
Or both. Quick
with the backtrack. No, I agree with the that concept that you gotta just be you, and especially in the age of information, fucking at the speed that's going at now is so goddamn fast that it's like you can't really be worried about it anymore. And I've been so guilty of this so many times where it's just like I go back and forth. You can't do it anymore. You just gotta fucking just say fuck it. Just say what you say. And then just leave it at that. People are going to have their opinions. You can't force somebody else to see your perspective. But, and this is why we're doing this here and why we have a fucking podcast, is it's important to see things from other people's perspective the best you can. And I think more importantly, the people that you disagree with the most are the people you want to see their perspective the best you can, because you disagree with them the most. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's got to be like this. I don't agree with this person, but try to get into their shoes the best you can.
Unless they're like
mega nationalist white supremacists. Yeah, I don't necessarily want to get in their head, but at the same time, it's like there's a lot of people that are misinformed that aren't necessarily that I think people are labeling that nowadays that aren't actually those people. They don't know as much as they think they do, or as you think they do, and they're just saying things that they don't really fucking know what they're saying.
I think it's honestly
not that we have to have massive compassion for fucking racists. I'm not saying that.
Politics or fucking whatever you're doing, like you're an angry person. You're fucking angry. You're being weird. Like,
but
or you're angry, but not
let's go into the fact that the music is the bridge over a lot of that, right? I mean, especially in the metal community, is that like just not metal. I said metal as a broad fucking open. There's so many subgenres and whatnot, but think of all the different people that are from so many different backgrounds and walks of life that can just overcome all of those opinions and stuff and come together on the same thing, which is music, right? And how many other things can we also do that on in real life? And if you just start going through the list, it becomes a lot bigger than you think. It becomes a lot more, metal and anime, and you just start finding all these different things. And that was something that, like, kind of coming circle back to Matt and I never really agreed on a lot of things politically, but we agreed on a ton of things politically, which is fucking weird. We just didn't agree on how to get there. And the thing was, is we we disagreed a ton and argued and all that, but we were always friends. We always managed to look past. We were always able to get past it. And I think that now it's just because we were able to talk it out in person, like we're doing right now. Not that we're talking about. You get what I'm saying. The fact that we're just talking in person is what bridges those real eroded divisions, I think, between people. Just my perspective, that being able to talk about that shit. And I think music does that for a lot of people. And that's what I found that I really love about music, aside from the fact that playing on stage is probably another huge thing that it's probably one of the best things about playing music is that energy, the raw energy of playing live.
Damn.
Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely. And going back to like you and Matt, not even thinking of it as like a U.S. presidency style of politics, you and him, or you and Matt rather, would get into these heated arguments. But the interesting thing was, me being, of course, the drummer sitting back watching everything, you guys would argue over the dumbest shit, but both of you had the same objective.
Yeah.
And usually it came down to like, we want to play this show because we want to go play live for these people, and both of you had two completely ass different backward ways of doing it. You were more so like, well, there's a system in place. You and I are a lot alike with that.
Yep.
There's not necessarily rules to go by, but there's quote unquote proper ways to do it. And he was just like, fuck it, let's just show up and play. Who cares? Like, and you know what I mean? And you can't do that. I'm like, well, fuck you, let's see what happens.
Right,
And he was always quick to pull the gun. And
but that was the thing that, like I said, like at his celebration, that was that I feel so strongly about, was in that dynamic. And this is why it's so important. I feel like we see things from other perspectives, and we try to see things from other people's perspectives, is that there's so many times that I didn't want to, we didn't want to play a show as a band. We're like, Doug included, me and you were always on the, let's not fucking pay a bunch of money to play into a show. And Doug was always very much like from your community of the DIY. And that's kind of how every band that I've met through you is very the DIY community, tax cab, and all that stuff. I mean, you guys, and that's huge. You did a ton of stuff with that, and you didn't have to fucking sell tickets in order to do it.
Fuck that. Yeah.
But there's, and that was always my thing. I'm like, fuck that noise.
Fuck paying to play, by the way.
Put
that in there.
Yeah, let's just fuck paying to play, right? Because these relationships with these mega places, mega promoters, not mega places, mega promoters like New England Concerts that come in, they just spend a bunch of fucking money, and then they fuck over a bunch of 13-year-old girls and meet and greets with fucking black veil brides. Like, that shit is just hack, right? But at the same time, Matt, this was before you were in, he felt that there was a ton of benefit to putting ourselves just in front of those bands, and that you're not necessarily paying to play. You are paying to play. That was my argument. Like, I don't give a shit what you say. But what you're paying to play for is you're paying to play in front of a crowd that you didn't necessarily earn to get in front of.
Right.
That's all it is. And if you can move that many tickets, then great. But if you don't, you're gonna end up paying that back to the fucking promoter.
Right.
And I wasn't down with rigid ticket guarantees. I hated them.
Even then, like I've spoken to musicians of different bands who are in the same position where their band as a whole has decided to do these pay-to-play gigs.
Yep.
And the feedback I've received is the people buying these tickets, it's almost like a pity buy. It's like, man, I'm playing this huge show. I need to sell these 35 tickets for $20 a pop, and then your mom, your dad, your sister, and your brother all buy them. But do they actually fucking show up?
Nobody's going to these shows.
So then you show up dropping $500 to $800 into the promoter's hand and say, "Here you go. We can open." In front of 6 people.
And honestly,
good, thank you.
To be fair,
that's
and I love Matt so much for this, and that's the thing I liked so much is that Matt was fucking shameless about it. He didn't even fuck. He just grabbed the fucking envelope of tickets, put it in his back pocket, and fucking give the money up front to the promoter.
Kind of like, fuck
what I
off,
mean? I mean, there's times where he didn't do that, but there's enough times that, like, and I don't know if he was open with everybody about it, but he was pretty straightforward with me. He's like, we're not actually in the hole for these tickets. I paid for them but I don't want to get stuck with it.
Right.
And he hid that. He would hide it, because he knew that at one point, even when you weren't in, Alex wouldn't fucking. He was just like, whatever. And then to be fair, motivation's a tough thing to fucking drive a ton of people to do. We all have your own individual lives and whatnot. He was the biggest driving factor in the motivation of Unrest in Transit and its success in its entirety. I'd love to say it was, because of some artistic integrity and all that bullshit, but it really, when it came down to it, was because Matt was a fucking whore with music, and I loved him for it. He'd fucking talk to everybody. He'd fucking be on top of it and there and promoting bands and your bands, anybody's band, our band, everybody's band, every show, any promoter. Like, he just loved the community so much that he had such just a way about him that he had no problem getting that many people to show up to shows.
Right.
Why I was okay with doing some of those pay to plays, because we would end up moving the tickets. But when it was like Soulfly and
Right.
stuff that people gave a shit about, you know what I mean? Because those, it's like you're not really paying to play. You know you're gonna move those tickets. Fuck it. And if you end up eating a couple of them, it's a good opportunity to pay with a band that you care about, as long as you're not playing like some weird outdoor stage and you get to play the fucking same stage as that band.
Right.
I don't know. I've always been in the middle of it, and that's why I'm against it. But at the same time, doing your own thing, setting things up like the Shufflepalooza show at the Opera House. Mm-hmm. That was an idea that we ended up coming.
That was a hell of a show.
That was a great time. That was so much fun, and I it sucks that we couldn't keep doing that, but it was all about money generation from their perspective, and it's a big venue to fill a bunch of people to stay the whole way through, but it was good times, and we had a lot of fun doing all those things. So, I definitely think that there's some solid memories with Matt, just getting to do some of those really awesome shows, but also just the local stuff that we did at the Brick House.
Yeah,
with
dude.
the Empire Shall Fall, that was huge. That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
But just the local stuff with local bands specifically.
Yeah.
The Brick House is always going to be that one go-to for me all the time. That was like when we were talking about doing this benefit.
Yeah.
On October 19th at the Dover Brick House. It's $10 and it starts. No, I'm just kidding. Everybody come on out. But it was important that I had to be at the Brick House.
Right. Because that was
There's nowhere
Matt's
else.
stomping ground.
That was,
like,
yeah.
If he-
I'll say
if he
mine
was-
too. Like that's
Right.
it's home base for me. Every band I've ever been in has played there. Everything I ever did with Matt, with you, with anybody here has been there.
Same, dude. Like, ugh.
Fucking, this is just so brutal when you lose somebody like him who's just a driving force in the music community.
Yeah.
But
it's fucking weird, like sitting and going, oh.
yeah, but you know what? We're gonna take a break here in a second, but we'd leave on this point. He'd think we're all, he'd tell us all to stop being pussies.
Right.
Yeah, pretty much.
But that was one thing I wanted to include real quick, in the sense that
Stop being so somber.
Yeah, Matt had a hard shell, but the inside he gave a fuck.
He really did.
It got to the point where
sure.
even if it involved self-sacrifice that nobody really saw, like you mentioned with the tickets, he would talk a big show and say, we're going to play this show because it's going to be with awesome bands, and forked out $300 of his own dollars to make sure that we could play the show, because that's how much he gave a shit about all of us.
And tucked it away and didn't say a goddamn thing.
But he will argue with you, you're blue in the fucking mouth or blue in the face, whatever, to not show weakness, But you could tell
because he didn't.
He cared.
That's it.
All in all, great times. I think he just wanted to have a good time.
Exactly.
He really did. Yeah, I think he had this concept that he knew that life is not a permanence, and that you got to live life now and be in it and live while you're in the moment. And that's the thing that I envied of him. Even when we'd get our kids together and his daughter and my son are together, and he's so in the moment. He was so in the moment. I feel guilty about not being enough in the moment with my son. Still, I try so hard, but I'm so distracted with the ADD and the ADHD. Like he who could be so present in the moment and enjoy the moment that he's in so thoroughly. And I can see that in pictures looking back at him and all that stuff. And it's just like, you got to live life like that.
You have to understand that at 22, he was pretty much dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had that pump put in, and if he did not have that pump put in, he was dead.
He would have passed away.
So from that point on was all borrowed time, and he knew that.
Yeah.
He knew that more than any of us did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He had his chest cut open. He had shit put inside of him. He had strokes. He had so much shit going on, and he still smiled, and he still gave everyone a "what's up, motherfucker," and made fun of everyone, and it was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
He really was an awesome, force of nature.
Yeah, exactly. He did not let anything bring him down.
No.
And he'd be making fun of all of us for sitting around and crying over him.
Oh yeah.
Like,
you bunch of fucking pussies.
He's like,
why don't you sew your vaginas up?
He's like, you said you stop being a pussy and take the break because you said you're going to do it, and now you're rambling on. Don't be an idiot.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Now it's up to all of us to sell those stupid fucking tickets.
It's so true. On that note, October 19th, 2019, at the Dover Brickhouse in Dover, New Hampshire. So we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back after a short ad from our buddies over at Cotet19.net. In other words, me talking about Cotet19.net. We'll be right back, guys. As a lifelong fan of Stephen King and the Dark Tower, I wanted to tell you about Cotet19.net. Cotet19 isn't just t-shirts with some cliche Pennywise screen print. This stuff is made with the aspiration to create not only great apparel inspired by Stephen King and the Dark Tower, but also a lifestyle brand and a sense of community. Cotet19 is the go-to shop for die-hard constant readers of Stephen King, but also a great gift for that bibliophile in the family. These guys always deliver the very best quality products, and you can't beat these prices, the styles and designs. You gotta check them out. If you go on, use coupon code ABSTRACTTRANSMISSIONS, and you'll get 15% off your next full order of $50 or over. Again, that's KA-TET19.net. Cotet19.net for all your Stephen King and Dark Tower apparel needs. Check them out, guys. And we're back. Let's see, we'll see how long I can hold out ands. And be like, and it's just a really long, annoying one. Yeah, and see how many people drop off. And Eggs Benedict. We're back to discuss things involving the next chapter in human history. Do you guys think we're going to connect to electronic devices soon?
What do you mean, like the Matrix style?
Interface, yeah, full interface. Not like we're gonna get put into VR right away or anything like that. But right now, the interface is our thumbs, right? Our eyes and our thumbs is the interface between our computers, basically, which are now biological extensions to our own bodies. These are for all intents and purposes an extension of you because they have your personal information, your likes, the things that you enjoy, your personal history, memories, all kinds of shit. So eventually, and this isn't far away, that's going to break down because we've slowed down a little bit. We discussed this a ton of times, probably everywhere. Is it just you're going from keyboards to like thumbs, and then from like thumbs you're like lagged, and now it's gonna lunge forward because they just put fucking USBs in the back of mice fucking brains.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the Neuralink that Elon Musk was talking about months ago on Rogan's podcast. Said it was going to happen. He's just months out, and people are like, no, fucking fuck him. They're smoking blunts, and fucking guy launched a car into space. He's a fucking dipshit. Nope, he's right, and you're the dipshit. They just fucking installed computer a mouse and a fucking rhesus monkey fucking controlled a computer with their brain.
Mm-hmm.
So now we have the ability to do it, and that means it's just downhill from at this point. We're going to merge with fucking computers like this. Before you know it, people are going to be downloading their consciousness. Agents isn't going to be a thing anymore. I'm calling it.
No one is putting a USB in my asshole.
I said brain. The fuck are you into, pal?
I was thinking taint.
He's like,
Doug's
Doug's like,
taint.
no, I'm getting plugged into my butt.
But I mean, can you really diss it until you try it?
Yeah, you don't know,
Exactly.
man. That's right. Because if it's like AI existence is better than if they can genuinely plug into the back of your brain. Look, all I'm saying is I have a virtual reality to PS4, and it's the most unbelievable thing I can't fucking handle.
I was just gonna say, have you seen the VR sex games they have out now? And they are nuts. They're booths at like Tokyo game shows.
It's insane.
And it's crazy how realistic
It's crazy.
and it's fucked up because you have to volunteer. Dude, I've seen these videos on YouTube. These guys volunteer, right? And they get their VR headsets on, and they sit in this chair, and they're doing like one of these, and on the screen is what this guy sees, and there's black curtains all around it, and he's got a crowd. So you get a crowd of people watching this guy touching air through a VR set, and they're watching a big screen TV of full blown, like big animated titty girl. Just right there, and then she looks realistic as fuck. And
That's fucking crazy.
Every person was like, "It was such a real experience."
That's insane.
Yeah.
So the thing that is nuts about that is I can relate to that because just using the PS4 VR, right, with Ace Combat 7 or whatever the frig that game is, that I got, it's uncomfortably real. With that headset on, and it's like nothing I've ever experienced in my entire life.
You're definitely getting into it.
Yeah,
yesterday.
Dude. Yeah,
You're like,
it's the first time I ever
throw
really.
up.
I
Like,
got
dude,
sick.
You need to try
after
this.
about
I'm like,
25
I
minutes.
can't do it right now. I feel weird.
No,
Like,
well,
I felt weird. Yeah,
I was trying to push it on Justin early, but then I didn't realize.
Sensitive man. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's got to be the right timing. Oh.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know. I was like, Justin, you got to try this first, and just give it, just
like,
put it on your head for a second so you can see what it looks like. And he didn't even want to try that. And then I got into it, and I was doing it for like 25 minutes. I'm like, holy shit! But yeah, no, fuck Resident Evil,
dude.
I'm not playing that game.
I still want to try that. Put me in a dark room.
Are you kidding me?
No. Yes.
You don't need a dark room, bro. You can
That's
have
true with VR. It doesn't matter.
You don't need a, it should be as bright as
So
you want in
never
that
mind,
fucking room.
right.
As soon as you put those goddamn goggles on, you are in Resident Evil
that's
world,
what I
and
wanted,
it
yeah.
is a lot.
Hey, give me a really good high-end headset.
I don't know.
VR.
I don't know,
Yeah.
dude. I don't know if I could handle. I maybe I'm just a pussy, dude. Matt's talking about it right now. He's laughing at me because he got a VR. He's like, "You could try it, dude. It's amazing."
Fucking
and I'm like,
do it.
and I'm like, "No, I'm never gonna." I'm like, "I'm gonna get Resident Evil." And he's like, "Oh, I don't know about that." He's like,
done.
the horror stuff. He's like, "I'm not so sure about the jumpy stuff with my heart." And he's like, "It's probably not a good idea." I'm like, "No, probably not." And then I fucking tried to Ace Combat, which is just a flight simulator. I'm like, yeah, no, that's not a good idea. I'm thinking of it in my mind now. Matt, you were going to use this? This is insane.
Right.
This is putting stress on my heart just playing a friggin' flight game.
Yesterday,
Oh, my
you were like,
goodness.
you're like, I don't feel. And then you went like I was standing by your door, and you went like this. You're like, with the headset on. I'm like, can people still see me with that?
No, they
No.
can't see
They
you.
just hear
But
it
you're
if
just
their
like-
headset's not on.
And I'm like, am I blocking something?
No.
And I went outside. I'm like,
Because I'm like flying and I'm looking over my shoulder, and dude, and it's the most real thing in the world because it's full, like 4K, like
60 FPS.
yeah. It's
And
not like it
Gavin's
is
like-
on that
he's like,
because that's no, it's like 120 FPS. It's like
my
it's
bad, not 60.
Yeah,
it's 4K. Yeah.
it's really like
ridiculous.
everything's motion flow and eerily real and kind of uncomfortable and
do it,
nope.
I couldn't do it.
I mean, I like it, and I'm gonna get used to it because I fucking it's
It'd be amazing.
it's like
for sure.
skydiving. It fucking puts you into that whoa.
Get
Doug,
me
you
into
come over
a
and try this, dude.
sensory
It's fucking
deprivation tank,
unbelievable.
and then I'll do it.
Yeah. Could you imagine
might be
VR
scary,
in
though.
sensory deprivation? It would make you like.
I don't think you need it.
No,
think you need it.
no, you don't. Yeah. Come on, we'll do some dabs and fucking put on the VR set.
I should get one of those.
And well, so there's all kinds of different VRs out there. There's the ones you can put your phone in, which it turns your phone into the device, which is good, but it's certainly not as good as a PS4 VR. And I don't even know if that motion flow rate is right about the VR tech stuff. Like we were saying stuff earlier, we didn't fact check anything. What was the joke we made about fact checks?
Oh yeah, fat checks makes the world go around.
Fact checks makes that's right. That's what it was. That was it.
Yeah, fat checks
Fact checks
makes the world go
Did you say
around.
fat chicks? No.
No, fact checks.
Damn it! Damn it!
Yeah, check the facts so the world can keep spinning.
Make them.
All of a sudden it stops. People get lunged. No, I think that I went off topic again. What was it? Oh yeah, the FPS on the. Yes, we don't know what the FPS is on it, but anyway, it was just freaking unreal. I mean, no, it was super real. It's crazy.
And to go back to like the integration between like humans and technology, I remember, I don't know if you guys, back then wasting time in school because at the time I felt like it wasn't important. Going on, was it Stumble Upon on the Google browser? I remember seeing pictures of like futuristic concept of like Google designing the contact that would let you answer text messages, or the car that you required a thumbprint to start. Or you go up to your car, you push a thumbprint on the handle, it unlocks it, and then the virtual scanner comes up and scans your face and then lets you enter the car. That's really not that far away. I think there are thumbprint scanning car starters now.
No, listen,
or something like that.
It's not only is it not far away, it exists right now. The difference is they haven't integrated it. They haven't integrated it into the cars yet. Because my phone, you remember? Well, it used to be a thumbprint on my old iPhone.
I don't trust that shit.
Now, it's facial recognition. So check this out.
Fuck that.
So if I do it this way, you see it. It's not going to open it up. You see the lock stays locked. It doesn't recognize. But if I do it, I recognize my face. It unlocks. I can swipe it up. No more home button. And it's less steps, but it's all based on facial recognition software.
This stuff, like, if I have my key in my pocket, I can walk up and just go, dude.
Right.
But
so it's the exact same thing, though, that they're going to integrate. They're going to integrate what you have now, right? That keyless entry.
And now you gotta have your thumbprint
but
on it.
Or just your phone, which is connected. No,
or just your face looking at the fucking lock.
Well, they don't need to. They're going to simplify it. They don't need to do that because all they want to do is have NFC technology that links to your phone. Your phone unlocks the car. And your phone is the one that has the facial recognition software and the thumbprint. So they can bypass all that. They don't need to even pay for it. They could just have it linked to your phone. Your phone's the connection.
It's like,
your
boom,
phone's the unlock.
You go up
now.
and you just step into that, like, whoop, and then you open the door and you go into the car and you're like, oh, by the way, you have a little, your blood pressure is a little high.
Yeah, that's what the biometrics are for. On like your Apple Watch does that right now.
Or Lexus, you sit in a Lexus, and some of them will all your mirrors adjust to your height, and then your seat will move up and down to your weight. And then when I used to do oil changes at my own muffler, I don't know how the fuck to start this thing. I got into it, and the next thing I know, the seat's lowering, the steering wheel came out of the center of the vehicle, and all these mirrors are changing, and my boss comes over and is fucking laughing at me. I was like,
what do I do?
Where's the NOS? Like, what do I do? Like, how do I operate this fucking thing? And he was like, you push that button right there. And I tried pushing it. And he's like, hi, you don't have, like, a key log thing, or I don't know.
Well, it's like, does not compute. And then all of a sudden it's like, no, it's not compute. And it turns into a suicide booth, tries to kill you.
You have an erection. You have an erection. You have an erection.
It's throwing you under the bus.
That's
or would you get like Hey Google integrated inside your car, and you'd be like, Hey Google, search for Dolphin Rape Island, and then there you go.
Anything goes. And well, so
Oh no.
Oh, no.
You're good.
Sorry, it's a quick
Getting
pop.
excited over there.
The cool thing that Justin was saying is the connection. You just walk up to your car and it opens up. Well, pretty soon it's gonna be that. It's gonna connect to your phone. Your phone's gonna connect. And you're not gonna touch anything. You're gonna walk up. The door's gonna pop open. You get in without touching the door, and the door closes for you.
Or you're gonna get pretty fucking pissed off when that fucking door does not open.
Yeah.
You're gonna come out and you're like, oh, I'm so
error.
tired. What the fuck? Open the fuck up. So you gotta step back and walk over again. I can't believe my car won't open.
And then
read my thoughts.
And then you're like, okay, whatever the fuck you're.
Fuck this thing. I'm calling AAA.
Well, no, that was gonna say, and now, and your next step is like,
and it works. And then
then
you have to call them back. No, sorry, it opened up for me.
Or was that TriStar? Was that
Then you
that company that you call TriStar? But eventually, it'll just end up being Google.
That's all it's going to be. That's it. You don't have to call
We're working out the bugs.
OmniStar or OnStar or whatever the fucking company is, and you don't even need to do what Justin's talking about. Now it's just going to be connected. It's going to know. It's going to do all those things, but you're going to go, oh, hey, okay, Google, or okay, Siri, whoever the fuck your provider is now, and they're going to go. There isn't a Waffle House within 700 years. Like, that, not a Waffle House. Open my fucking car door. And it's been like, there are no car retailers in your area. Like, not the fuck. Fuck you. And it's like,
you're literally
fuck
walking
you
around kicking this car that could be a fucking spaceship.
You're right, because we're going to be so reliant. So, I mean, the point is that Yang's making is that all of that's not going to be the case. Technology is going to be so seamless that it's going to replace every human being on the face of the planet's job, which is pretty accurate. You already look at the computer and the technology right now, it's doing it. I can have an entire conversation with my phone via text message, and it gets pretty much all of it pretty solidly. Mm-hmm. And I fuck up my articulation pretty frequently,
I don't. I'm always right on.
Well, I purposely fuck it up sometimes just to see if it can do it.
It's all fun and games till the batteries die.
That's it. He makes a valid point. I think Doug makes the most valid point, is that we're so completely contingent. We're so reliant, and our lives are so contingent on technology that
so if you want to delve into all the aspects of what could happen, an EMP could pretty much take out a whole entire workforce.
Yeah. Oh, the entire country, or the entire civilization of the United States.
Say we get totally dependent on this whole computerized workforce and everything, and then China EMPs us, then we're sent back to the Stone Age. And
no, I'll do you one better. We get these things implanted in our brains.
Yeah.
And then we get a fucking EMP.
And then you get an EMP, and all of a sudden you can't interface your freaking hand to your ass to wipe it, so you're fucked.
Yeah, fucking interfaces before. You didn't think that one out,
This is
Elon
going to
Musk.
sound really, really fucking wow. Fucking crazy. If we don't get fucking cranked by a fucking asteroid in 110 years, or 190, or maybe 90 years.
Yeah.
It's going to be
it's going to be a very different place.
Interesting to hear.
We'll see where it goes, yeah. Because I do think
Not
that
just, there's
cranked by an asteroid is the right thing. Everybody's really concerned with global warming and climate change, as they should be. It's a real concern. It's fucking deadly, and because of these climate fires that we were talking about, I think last night, on the most recent podcast.
What do you mean? Oceans warm up all the time.
Yeah, no, but this is exactly.
They get boiling.
They get boiling. The climate concern that people aren't factoring in, that we were really hitting home, is the Arctic fires, and the fact that peat moss is now igniting, and that's burning down to the permafrost layers, which is releasing tons of fucking methane, way faster than we expected, and these exponential fires that were like in California are now happening in the Arctic that are caused. They're just igniting peat moss and peat bogs, and those peat bogs are layers of decomposed material that had been frozen but is now being unfrozen because of global warming and the global climate shift. Even if you believe that even if you don't believe that this is man caused, that all of a sudden that this natural disaster right now is happening is enough to cause the entire ecosystem to shift. Just this one thing alone, if global warming wasn't being caused by man-made issues, these fires alone are like volcanic ash going into the atmosphere. It's just as bad, just as much of a concern.
Well, methane is no good.
No, methane is a bad
why,
problem. It's worse than carbon.
When you smell the bad methanes,
yeah,
you walk away from it. Ugh.
The bad methanes.
And if you smell them on the beach,
it sounds like a theme song. The bad methanes.
Bad methanes. Stay away from it, kids.
Some people smell it on purpose.
Oh, some people definitely go right into it.
Fat huffers. Let's discuss people who. Oh God,
that was another Matt move.
Took it up
cup of fart. He was notorious for that one.
Cup of soup.
Cup of soup. That's what it was. Yeah,
right
all the time.
Right in the cheeks all day.
Yeah.
Fucking pound a PBR pounder and Burger King cheeseburger, and then sit at band practice and see a fucking cup of soup.
It's
and
not
he didn't need to say it. You just see his hand wave at you, and you just go.
And that's the thing.
What
it's
a
like
hero.
It's not like one of those big.
No, it's silent.
It's just like a.
God bless, Mr.
It's kind of like a.
God bless.
Yeah.
And then it's like, and he captured it. There you go.
It to you.
That's for your face.
Yeah. Well, my best. You just rip one and go. Did you guys hear that? I'm like, well, fuck, of course. Like right here.
It's the most important.
He'd look at me and go, egg time.
Egg time. Yeah.
Egg time. All this, I'm like, egg. And then it would just be like pure shit right here.
Cup
pure
of soups,
shit.
dude, all the time.
Pure
God
shit.
damn, he did that a couple of
All
times in my apartment when I was in Dover.
Oh,
Just remember,
yeah.
you just purposely fucking lodged one in that little fucking room when we were trying to cool box that fucking living room because it got so hot in that goddamn apartment because he was right near the fucking hot roof that was just man, remember how hot that fucking apartment would get no matter what I would do with those fucking ACs, and we're sitting in that fucking room and he's just fucking ripping farts hard.
It's good for
That
you.
was right after he banged that fucking chick that night. My fucking
Who?
we're not
Say
going.
initials.
No, we're not doing that.
Initials.
I just can't do that.
It's too many initials.
No, because they'll throw it right out of that. No, I'm not doing it. But anyway,
DD for dumb bitch
he-
because she was banging Stinky Matt.
oh, he was a hero that day. He did a good job.
Hero bugs.
What a good guy. He's just stunk the shit out of my fucking living room, and I'm like, God damn it, Matt. I'm like, now we literally have to sit in here with your fucking decomposed animal material farts in my fucking oh God.
Or he'd have that giggle like, we're like, what's so funny? He's like, you'll smell it.
Yeah, he's like, go get it.
No, he has that smile.
Yeah,
Like
little
he's like, egg
smirk.
time. He's like,
fucking smirk on his face.
God damn it, dude.
then you just smell pure shit.
Yeah.
Like pure, like.
Especially
Ooh,
when it's already
right.
90
I was like
degrees.
Ron Gray used to do the
band
same
practice.
thing. Good
Oh,
times.
he threw up. Me and Matt
Oh,
threw
yeah.
up.
That
Fucking
because
Ron. He came in.
Ron was pretty brutal with him. I know he made your entire apartment fucking make
Fucking no.
the
This was
entire top
he fucking
floor
farted and then in my fucking apartment.
in your apartment
And
and
it
it leaked
fucking-
into the fucking.
It leaked. I'm on the 3rd floor. I'm not shitting, dude.
I know. I remember.
He was.
He was
I
definitely
literally,
shitting.
I was like
But
a quarter of the way
the
up the
fucking-
stairs on the bottom floor, and I was like, "What
The
the
downstairs
fuck is that
neighbors,
smell?
fucking first story, got pissed and fucking
no shit.
sprayed and slammed the door. Heat fucking rises.
Right?
So how do you fucking?
Dude, you know, I
He's
didn't
like-
even know about that.
He's like,
was this a different time?
that's it.
So there was this one time that I remember specifically that he ripped a
How
fart in your
does it
house
fucking? How
so
does it
bad
turn
that
into a
I
fucking
smelt it in the
Hiroshima?
stairwell. I smelt it in the stairwell on the way coming in, and you're like, oh, you're like, what the fuck?
You could smell Ron's shoes through a closed door.
What a
We
hero.
used to leave them outside of this chick's apartment, and we go
Stay.
inside and it'd just be like, there's Ron's shoes. just wafting into the
That
apartment.
was like me when I had I worked at fucking whatever kitchen job it was at the time. Whatever fucking kitchen job it was. I worked at kitchen jobs for fucking better part of my fucking young adulthood from 15 to 20 something. Oh yeah, Ron's a good time. Fucking hilarious kid. Motherfucker kid. He was older than me by like almost 7 years.
Wells Fargo didn't want to talk.
All you sons of bitches are younger than me.
Yeah.
Justin and I were talking about
Old
that
man.
earlier.
Yeah.
Old man.
You're 39?
Gonna teach us a little bit of
40.
wisdom.
40. That's what
The old
I'm
man gonna
36,
teach you
so
what's back from
4 years. 3.5 years.
You got 6 years on me. So
Fucking A. That's wild.
yeah, you're a Gen X or technically a Gen Y, right? Gen Y.
Some fucking Gen.
You're not Gen
something.
X because Gen X is
The
different.
90s were when I fucking got to fuck shit up.
Yep, but still technically, yeah. I mean, technically, I was like
slipped up on a little
16
bit of
in
that.
'99.
A little bit. Into the 2000s. A little bit.
Yep. Yeah, we were
17 on to.
we were technically Gen Y, just barely, almost
no,
millennials.
We're fucking millennials.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Well,
No.
I'm a millennial.
Yeah, so here, well,
no,
no,
wait, you're a millennial.
I'm a millennial.
See,
By
I
technicality, I am.
I
but you're
graduated
not.
in
I'm
'97.
I'm in the cusp.
Yeah, you're definitely nowhere near a millennial.
So-
You're like you're Gen Y, I'm pretty sure, because Gen X is still people. They were
It's just like
graduating in
astrology. We
93,
all
94,
fucked up.
I think. Gen X.
Make a
and-
new sign.
I forget exactly, but I know and people say millennials start anywhere between 84 and 86, but I feel like I more relate to your generation than I do the millennial generation because I didn't have a cell phone a better part of my teenage life and young adult life. I didn't really have a cell phone until I was in my early 20s.
Well, you just relate with my generation more because you didn't have any of the shit your generation had because you were a poor kid.
That might be too. I didn't think about
My
that.
first fucking
I didn't have a
cell phone
computer
was
when I was
when-
15
Dude,
or any of that stuff.
Pretty
you
much
know. I
your
have a computer
poverty
since
level kind of
19, I think.
integrates when you got technology.
That makes sense. Which makes sense on the technology and music that I had passed down to me from earlier generations because I listened to all 90s stuff and
Yeah.
all like even like hip hop and R&B. It's like
you used
fucking
to come hang out at our band practices when you were 15
Exactly.
and I was like 20 something.
yeah. That's
Holy
exactly
shit.
right. That's how I met you and how I really met. I mean, Ron. I met Ron through Mark Gray, and I met Mark Gray through these kids that wanted to kick my ass at the end of the street because I had blue hair. And I ended up becoming friends with Mark, and then in turn Ron, and then in turn coming down to those practices because
Oh, to
Mark's
be
like,
fair,
well,
when
know,
you have blue hair, I wanted to kick your ass.
yeah, hey, it happened. It came with the blue hair.
was
Pretty
that
much.
a
Yeah.
socket?
It's like Papa Smurf needs a fucking foot in the face.
It was either Socket or Profound Underground.
Profound Underground.
Pretty sure it's Profound Underground.
Yeah. Because that's where it got its name, was because we practiced
Because that was
in
back in
Ron's
the day
basement and
when there was like
Andy
shows at
weird.
yeah. What was that place?
Safe and sound.
Yeah, Safe and
Safe
Sound.
and Sound.
Yeah.
That was good times there.
And then it turned into Right Attitudes,
Attitudes.
which is like a Christian place, right?
Damn.
Yeah. Well, we played a show like 3 days
Stained and
after
Godsmack
September
played
11th.
at fucking at fucking
Sam Black Church. Freaking
Safe and Sound.
ton of bands
Played
played
Safe
there.
and Sound.
Oh, yeah.
Ton
fucking
of
hilarious.
bands. Freaking
Rochester. New
so
Hampshire.
much. So many bands.
Good stuff. So, yeah, no, I mean, I would say the best part about musical community now that doesn't resemble that, obviously because of the changes in technology, is that there still is venues that exist, at least for us locally, like the Brick House, that are kind of like that, where you can still have that generated local sense of community, because that didn't exist there was a gap, right, between the time in Safe and Sound and I would say earlier, Brick House years.
There was a huge ass gap.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure. Well, yeah, it's probably
and I would say even
around 2000.
Yeah.
Kind of died out in this area till like 2010. It's like a 10-year period where
I would say even like 2007 or 2006, there was some stuff starting to happen at the Brick House.
But when,
we
the Elvis room fell apart and disappeared.
That's exactly what I was going with.
A lot more of the local venues kind of shut down or ramped down. Like
Portsmouth became
over in
super hoity-toity.
The Stone Church really kind of died out for a while, and
I've never been there.
Come back.
So what the fuck? That's the other thing too. We people should be. There needs to be better with all the technology. There needs be better integration between all these different venues in different musical communities, because it seems like places like 3S Art Space and the Stone Church don't have a lot of the same bands that are cycling through the Brick House and out into Manchester at the the Shaskey.
Some of these venues want to do their own thing. They don't want to be like anyone else in the area.
Yeah, but that's silly. We need to embrace.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but there's always going to be someone that wants to be fucking different.
Of course, it makes sense.
I'm gonna do it my way, no matter how fucking retarded and stupid it is.
Yeah. Right. No, I get it. It's true. This is a slower progression, lack of progressional thought. I mean, there should be this sense of, I'm gonna have a venue and have bands come through. I'm gonna try to pay them the best I can, because it's gonna help grow my business. It's gonna help the bands. It's going to create a sense of community, and those things will naturally grow their own businesses. It'll naturally grow bands, and of course, when you're working with bands, they're finicky music type, right? There's expectations out of musicians. Sometimes they're drug users. Sometimes they get too drunk on stage. Stuff happens, right? But that's what you get into when you have bands play at your restaurant or your venue or whatever it may be. But I think that as time goes on and laws loosen up, like the one that Brandon Finney, who was our first guest, kind of loosened up when he was a state rep, was eliminating these anti-drinking on stage laws, which has now allowed country bands, specifically country music venues, up north into Laconia and above, that are bringing in these acts that their whole thing is like they're pounding beers on stage and doing all that shit because it's country. It's the whole thing. It's still money generation in New Hampshire that was being lost before because of an archaic law that was stupid. Now that's the same thing that's going to happen. I think long term is that. With the opening of an understanding, I think more bands from outside of the state are going to flow through New Hampshire because of things like that. But also, if we can really, have a more tight-knit sense of community outside of just the seacoast, because you notice that too, like bands within a 30-mile to 45, let's say 30 to 80-mile radius, there tends to be a lot of that, seacoast, the higher populated areas. You're pulling people from areas like Acton,
right,
from places like Barrington, from places out of the woods, but it just feels like there's not a lot of integration between a lot of the bands in the seacoast and in and around as much as it used to be. It's changing, obviously. That's now, especially now more than ever in the last 5 to 10 years. Mm-hmm. I was saying this with we were talking to Stephen from the Summons, how much that's changed recently.
Yeah.
I remember back when you could rent out a Deering Hall, or not Deering, like the Deering Grange Hall, or you could rent out a VFW,
right,
or a Knights of Columbus, or the Dover's Elks Lodge, or the Brick House, or there's another couple of places, Furies, even at one point in time. You could have all these places, and now it seems like, from a business standpoint, I understand it, and I always try to look for local support and local venues for local bands to try to keep the local community together to grow. But the shitty part is you're kind of beating on doors at this point because no venue will give you a chance because nobody goes to local shows anymore.
Right. It's really tough.
I made like a post on Facebook being kind of frustrated the other day because there was a show or in Dover or whatever, and it could be $5 and you could not be fucking doing anything but sitting on your couch watching Hulu. $5, go down and have a drink at the bar and hang out with a bunch of local bands. You just help them out, and a lot of businesses won't take that. To them, it's a risk factor.
It is.
So they're clearing out their hall for a night where they could be making money, so these local bands can pile in for 6 people because no one in the local community wants to leave their house or their phone to go see these bands do what they love.
In general, yeah. And the younger community specifically, I think that's the sad direction.
Really disturbing.
Yeah.
Actually,
these are the same kids that will sit in their room and they will Skype to each other and they will Snapchat and they will Instagram.
Why fucking go anywhere? We got it all here.
Exactly. They'll spend their whole entire night in their room till like 3 a.m. up on these stupid apps, and it's like, when I was your age, I was sneaking out the goddamn window and going and hanging out in someone's house and getting drunk.
Getting fucking
wild.
But
instead, they're just hanging out in their rooms and screwing around on Snapgram and Instafuck and whatever the hell else they're on.
Yeah.
Being douches.
Well, I think that's just the inevitable direction.
Can't tell I have a kid.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's unfortunately the direction of the digital society, and where we've just kind of like shifted to this need to be connected socially, but even more unconnected than ever.
And now we want to put microchips in our brains
to connect ourselves,
USBs in our assholes.
So, well, here's the other thing though, the upside of that connection.
Where are you going to get your shit out if there's a USB in your asshole?
Yeah, you get.
Then all of a sudden you're going to have to get an asshole in your belly button.
Yeah, you got to reposition some shit.
That's what the belly button's for.
Upgrades.
USB.
Instead of going right into the USB into the belly.
USB belly button.
You don't need it on your asshole. You don't need it on your taint.
You got to switch them around. You make it complicated, buddy. You complicate it.
Just
nipple drives.
Listen.
Ooh.
Oh.
pH scale checkers.
Oh God, you guys, that's the worst. I can't.
Pasty ROM.
I can't handle that. That one's the worst. That one hurts my brain.
I do have an actually interesting question for you, Doug. Would you, if it was offered to you, would you participate in a quote-unquote safe self-driving car designed for handicapped personnel? Say this vehicle would roll up to your door and you want to go grocery shopping, and all you got to do is just get in it. It'll drive you to the grocery store and drop you off.
I wouldn't be opposed.
That shit scares the fuck out of
I'm
me.
actually waiting on it. Literally.
I don't trust that, man.
Doug can still drive. I can't.
Well, see, that's the concept. It would tremendously help him because being handicapped and hard to get around.
Yeah.
But the kind of technology that's capable of is scary as fuck.
Oh, it
all
absolutely.
It would take for someone to hack into that shit and then cause a collision.
All of a sudden you got Hal driving you around.
Right.
Should be within 10
Doug,
years.
I don't think you need to take this exit.
Doug, stop drinking. Put that down.
You're like, I haven't had a drink in 14 years. It's like,
that's right, yeah.
No, Doug, you've been drinking all day. It sprays you and it breaks a bottle in the thing, and illegally. And like, the cops have been notified. Be like, fuck you! You're like, I'm clean! They're like, tell it to the lawyer, asshole. What the fuck? No, but seriously, imagine in a world where AI, screws you over, and we have no concept that AI has been self-aware since 1997.
Mm-hmm.
Google.
When did Terminator come out? Because has no one watched fucking Terminator?
Right, exactly.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, holy shit.
Of course they have, but that's why it's happened, and that's why it's going to happen, and that's why it's not going to be stopped, is because we predicted it. We are self-fulfilling prophecies. We have been in every aspect of science fiction, and we will be for the rest of pretty much humanity, I'd imagine. But the connection to AI, the connection to electronics, it's the next step in human evolution, unfortunately. We can't evolve without it because we'll kill ourselves. So the next step is to connect to those stupid USBs to prolong our lives permanently. Not us specifically.
Well, I will let you
Opt
guys all
out.
get your USB hookups, and I will sit here blissfully unaware of your fucking virtuality bullshit.
I'm not saying that our generation is going to be direct impact, but our kids most definitely will be, and their kids will undoubtedly be.
Well, if my kid wants to fuck her life up, she is more than welcome to it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a perspective, though. Is it going to fuck their life up? The first run, yep. The first round,
The
beta test,
the beta
man.
testing.
Yeah. They can't get fucking Anthem right, that fucking video game. They're not gonna be able to.
How long did it take for
Penance
that government website for healthcare to be up and running and all that? Like,
Yeah, forever. Right. It's
and
true.
you know, as soon as it's like integrated into your body, the government's going to get their fingers all into it
Oh, well,
because
it has to
it's your
happen.
body. We have to have control over that.
It's inevitable that's gonna happen.
Oh, you want an
because
abortion?
of them.
No.
No.
Oh, you want to put a USB in your brain? No.
No, we're not really into that.
I'm sorry.
Well, see, I think that that unfortunately that it's not going to be in our control. But fortunately, the full integration of those things, the hive mind aspect, the fact that we're all going to kind of integrate together and understand a common understanding that we can't continue to destroy ourselves and we can't continue to coerce each other because it solves nothing but it causes war. We need to just live and let live. Ultimately, I think that the technology could be the understanding that bridges and eliminates war, eliminates famine, and eliminates all these problems. Because Yang was saying, is the entire capitalism, socialism dichotomy is archaic. It's gone. It doesn't matter anymore. Socialism and capitalism aren't really a thing because we have a new technology that's made those things outdated. It's abrupted that entire thought process and system where we can have something different than those entirely. We can have something better. We can have a system in which robot creates free labor. AI creates free labor, and we can reap all of that, tax that free labor. And AI, dude, it's fucking Amazon laughing their way to the bank. Mm-hmm. They're just reaping all the benefits of free labor right now and scooping up, and they're unbeatable in the market because of it, because of this technology. They're not going to be stopped, and they're going to just destroy all the malls, and then we're going to be like, well, you can't tax them. It's their personal business. Well, yeah, I get that. I'm a libertarian too, but it's not really their personal business. They've come in and been uncompetitive. You can't compete with somebody that has an unfair advantage, meaning businesses can't hold themselves sustained. And that's just going to that's going to decimate the job market. It's going to decimate everybody's jobs. People are going to be left in the wake. So if we don't fucking adapt quickly, humanity's pretty much fucked and doomed.
Maybe that's what we need.
Yeah, but we're not going to have a reset. It's going to be, okay, humanity, bye-bye. And we're just going to fucking die off. In my opinion, I think that's probably not going to happen. I think what's realistically going to happen is just at the last minute,
we live on Mars.
It's going to be living on Mars. There's going to be this connection to electronics. Because once that happens, once there's no more slowed down interface, it's like, we're absorbing information, we're flipping through screens, we're reading Facebook, we're listening to music, we're listening to podcasts. All this shit's happening instantly, all the time, changing constantly.
Entities.
And I don't know that's a bad thing, but I don't know that's a good thing either.
We're all star children.
Yeah. I mean, Heinlein and all these guys, foresaw a lot of this stuff.
Even when it comes to robotics. Star children.
Yeah. I mean, there's going to be these connections past what we can really understand. And I think it's going to happen right in our lifetimes. And it's our job to kind of integrate these things and make some real changes before anything happens. So we really got to get on board with,
And the taxing of
AI labor.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that it's something that's necessary. That's why the only reason I've been such a strong proponent of Yang is just because I feel like he's kind of right in the middle. He gets a lot of people from both sides. He's not super I'm going to force everybody to do everything. He's very non-coercive about stuff. There's maybe some things that you don't agree on about a lot of stuff that's going to be true with every candidate, but I don't know. It is what it is. He's another person running for president. He's just not a politician, a normal one at least. And he's got a lot of good things to say about AI, which is my concern. AI should be our biggest concern. It's the biggest
ultimately,
impact.
in every aspect, whether it be Democrat.
I can hear interference.
Did I say Democrat?
I can hear the interference from them right now.
That's probably me.
No, I'm just kidding.
Democrat.
Democrats. Republican. Can you? Can't.
Did you?
It's the time frame.
Would you? Pushed.
Yeah.
No, you know what I mean. Like just every. I lost my fucking.
No.
Anyways.
I get what you're saying. Is it that you've got that swing back and forth between left and right all the time? What you need is somebody like him that drives hard, middle of the road, but new age middle of the road. It's not left, it's not right, it's forward. That's his whole slogan. I get it. But at the same time, if the Democrats push back on that and he runs center and runs independent, which he's not going to do, I think that he could run third party and probably win it. Be the first third-party president of all time.
It'd be a rough road going independent.
Would be a rough road, but it's the internet. That's the factor that has never existed before. That's why if you had Ross Perot with a ton of money by donors and himself, financially backed, but with the internet, but also the internet, he might have won third party. Think about that.
I don't know.
Ross Perot had a lot going for him, considering that the media squashed him. He did a lot. That's what I'm saying. If he had the internet on top of all of that success, nowadays,
like Ross Perot today, I would confidently say probably.
Well, that's so. And I mean, I'm not saying that that Andrew Yang's that, but I'm just saying that he's got a lot of answers that people like, and I'm just saying, watch him closely over the next couple of months.
He always reminds me of the Chicken Purdue guy. Ross
Perot. Perot. Yeah.
So just a weird observation, but go ahead, proceed.
Yeah, no, he totally does look like him. Completely accurate. I never really realized that.
Just picture him biting into a raw chicken.
I don't think he should.
That's what I got.
That's how you get salmonella.
I don't think he should.
We feed our constituents sage so we don't have to give them antibiotics.
Nutrients for all.
I guess where I was going to wrap it up was that with AI and there's these big changes happening with AI. The biggest problem that we're having that nobody's talking about is how it's impacting our youth. The fact that we're letting our kids sit in front of these technologies, we're sitting in front of these technologies, and there's nobody watching what they're doing. Matter of fact, they're saying they want to make these technologies as addicting as possible. And not just basic apps. Apps like fucking Travelocity and fucking Facebook and basic apps that are not like, trying to get your ad time. These are just basic apps, but they want to get as much usage as possible to produce as much revenue as possible. So, you've got your kids looking at these things, we're looking at these things, and it's changing our minds, and we have no idea how much of an impact. Andrew Yang's the only one that was suggesting about that we should have some sort of we should be focusing on that as humanity. How are these devices going to impact our brains? And if we do connect to them.
How did TVs affect our brains in the 50s?
Yeah, that's true.
New technology is always going to
Well, that's a good question.
Scare people.
To answer your own question, think about it. How did it affect us?
Negatively, obviously.
So
because it's gotten us to the point where we're at right now.
We're dumb. Yeah, we're so trusting in fucking reality TV.
You have the entire world of information at your fingertips, and you're looking at fucking stupid cat videos.
That's right.
There you go.
Yeah. No, and that's where it's put us. It's set us up to have this wonderful thing like the internet, but not give a shit about it because we grew up in the fucking Al Bundy generation of TV where it's unimportant. But I think it's changing, and I think that's what you're saying is a valid point. The fact that you even comprehend that, and you're from an older generation than some of these Gen Y, Tide Pod eaters in before and earlier. I shouldn't say Gen Y. I should Gen Z or whatever the fuck it was. This new changes. These guys are going to recognize it too. Everybody's going to get on board with at least some sort of basic knowledge because information is free for now. But as time goes on,
I saw 8 tracks. I saw cassette tapes. I saw laser discs. I saw CDs. I saw DVRs.
Heard that,
man. They have
mini
come
discs,
out with
right? Mini discs too. Is that another one?
Goddamn different forms of media and formats, and
heard that, man.
now all of it is pretty much
It's
non-existent because there's MP3s and
I've
there's...
still got cassettes. Look at that shit. Oh.
Well,
But not so many.
it's not even stored information.
How long are they going to be producing cassettes? I mean, yeah, the vinyl has come back, but how long till someone doesn't give a shit about wax in a disc?
Oh, nobody gives a shit about it right now.
No, they care about it more than ever right now because it's
I have a
nostalgia.
tape recorder I
There
can
is
play it
plenty
on.
of hipsters and PBR left to make records, viable for at least another 50 years.
eBay. Oh.
But also to reinforce that point, though, is that nostalgia drives a lot of things and a lot of decisions right now. Because we look for a time when knowledge is like...
Look at the re-released Sega Genesis.
Bingo. Yeah.
Or even
Marketing.
Because our kids look at that and go,
I was just going to say
what
the same thing.
the fuck is it? 16 bits?
Fucking Jeremy's reading my mind. The Nintendo.
Yep, the Nintendo.
Same thing.
The re-release, the Nintendo Mini that people buy for $60 and then resell it for $300. And then the kids are playing these games, playing Mario, fucking Metroid, Frogger, whatever the fuck was on them. They're like, these games are awesome. And
Zelda.
Right.
Zelda,
absolutely.
Right.
And it's wild because like
Those things sold like hotcakes.
Gavin's watching 8-bit, 16-bit video games that are like new video games that are created in the fashion of old video games.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like Undertale and all that stuff,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, it's amazing. And they're just watching other people play it. But that's the generation, the changes that we've gone to. As we slowly socially interconnect, we're going to find that we have a lot more things in common. But I think that his concern is valid. Is that like, we're already stupid enough. We start putting stuff in our brains and trying to. Nobody wants to know what you're thinking all the time, what you're eating all the time.
But you can share a meme so much faster when it's processed through a microchip that is inside your cranium.
Yeah. It's lots of storage.
Not fast enough, if you ask me. Just put it in your ass. It'll be way faster. Digest much faster.
You gotta get
you have one in your taint and one in your brain, so that way it's like
they interconnect.
The interconnection.
There's gotta be
that much faster.
Also, there has to be one in like the peanut M&M in your urethra.
Oh God, not back to that, dude. Not back to. Don't do it. Don't leave on that one. Because I was just gonna leave on something of the cloud connectivity, but then you went back to the urethra discussion, how we opened up. It's a full circle, but
that's what happens.
No, you did a good job coming full
Peanut
circle.
allergies are no joke.
Yeah. Oh.
Do not stick things in your penis holes or eat Tide Pods.
Hey, we started urethra initially, but you know what?
Urethra Franklin.
Yeah. Before we end, I just want to say
checks.
it's not going to be a matter of storage for information. We're all going to have a cloud. That's what things have already gone past CDs and DVDs into the. And they're like, oh well, MP3s and storage and terabytes and hard drives. No, now it's just going to fucking somewhere in space. Goes to the fucking cloud, not to space obviously, but it goes to the cloud, which means we're all going to be interconnected to a cloud, which means hive mind, which means fucking Skynet, which makes Doug right again. God damn it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll have our Borg cubes that we travel the universe in.
Oh, Jesus Christ, you're right. You're right.
Which leads to more celebrity porn nude leaks.
Hey,
Star Trek bitches.
J-Law.
What the fuck was that?
And it all leads back to
Captain-
Captain Kirk banging some blue chick on a fucking planet surface.
listen.
Time to deliver the nudity.
The Fat Boy 2.0.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, we had an interesting night, and we really appreciate you joining us for our wonderful ride down memory lane into the future. As always, we appreciate you listening, and eventually we'll have some sort of Patreon set up so you guys can, give us money. No, I'm just kidding. But we really just want your support, and we appreciate you listening and also listening to us, advertise for the guys over at Content 19. They're great. Check them out. They always have some really great deals on some amazing clothing with that discount there for Stephen King and anything related to the Dark Tower. So, again, thank you again, and abstract here, abstract there.
Abstract transmissions.